learning opportunities and where this can possibly further take you. All right? Okay. So, oh, sorry. All right, so let's officially start this info session with me, giving you some insight on why you should actually learn the Korean language. All right. Again, I've seen. Okay, let me just change my slide. All right. Okay. So all right, why learn Korean language? I've read in some of the comments in the chat box that some of you are already learning or have already learned some basic Korean language lessons. So, are you excited? We'd be glad to see some reaction from you guys. So, yeah, you can give us some reaction. All right, thank you. So, all right, let's start this. So, why learn Korean language? I'm sure that for those of you who have already started this, you have your reasons. But okay, let's see where this can take you. So, first of all right, first, the Korean alphabet is actually simple. All right, I don't know if those who already know will agree with me, but this is a fact. So compared to other alphabets that do not use Roman characters, the Korean alphabet or Hangul is relatively simple to understand. So why or how is it simple? Okay. Well, unlike other systems of writing, the Korean alphabet did not evolve from one form to another. Okay, so instead it was purposely made easy to learn and understand by King Sejong of the Joseon dynasty. King Sejong, which is also the name of the university that we are partnering right now in bringing to you this info session. So again, the Korean alphabet is actually pretty simple. In fact, Hangul has 24 letters, two less than the Roman or the English alphabet, and is built on the sounds of the language. I want to show you, for those who do not have any idea about Korean language or Hangul, I want to show you this, just to show you that I'm not lying. Hangul has only 24 letters compared to the English alphabet or the Roman alphabet that we are using, which has 26. And again, Hangul is built on the sounds of the language. So it's not like the English alphabet wherein, for example, for letter A, we have like two sounds, short and long. A as in apple or A as in airplane. In Hangul, it's not like that. Each character has a certain sound, and you read the words with that sound. So it's not complicated. Okay. So maybe to give it a more personal explanation, think of this. When you who among you here are fans of K-pop or who likes Korean songs? There. Okay, I see some people. So when you are trying to actually sing a Korean song by reading the lyrics in Romanized writing, it doesn't sound the same, right, with the singer. Sometimes when you try to sing it, your pronunciation is not the same with how it is actually sung by the singer. So that is the reason why, because when you read it in the English or the Roman alphabet, it becomes more complicated. All right. So it's going to be fairly easy or easier to pronounce Korean words accurately when you read it in their own alphabet. Right. So that's just a taste of why it's good to learn Korean language, especially if you are a fan of K-pop, K-dramas, right? It's like that. So now my second point is cultural immersion becomes more meaningful. The fact that you are all here in this event tells me that you are most likely interested in visiting Korea even once in your lifetime. Am I correct? Maybe some of you have already been there. All right, so of course, we cannot deny the fact that the Korean wave or Hallyu has been a big source of entertainment for most Filipinos, K-pop, K-drama, celebrities, right? Okay, so as I was saying, when you know the language better, you learn further and you get to enjoy immersing
Hindi
in
ako si
their
Juan
in the
talaga.
culture much more, right? So just to share my personal experience, in few years ago I went to South Korea on my own for about 2 weeks on my own, and it was my first time to travel by myself. And because I have knowledge of the language, it helped me a lot in being aware of what is around me, what's going on around me, and it made me so much comfortable
You
being
know
in
what?
an unfamiliar culture.
You
So
know
I
what?
didn't really have
You know what's
much to
gonna
worry about.
happen now?
Right? Okay, I hear some sounds. Can everybody please make sure that they are on mute? Right? So anyway, going back to my point, I believe that there are people here who would like to study in South Korea given a chance, right? Can I see a hand raise or some reaction? Who among you here? Right. Okay. So there are a lot who are interested to study in South Korea if there is a chance. So therefore, we highly encourage you to learn the language and not only learn, but to master the language. Because you know, even if the school offers you a course which is being delivered or taught in English, if you will live there, you will still need to adapt to the environment and also, you know, with the people around you, right? So again, when you know the language well, your cultural immersion becomes more meaningful. You understand what you hear better, right? Sometimes we get lost in translation. So when you know the language well, you understand it, if not 100% perfectly, at least almost. Right. Now, my third point here is, so I only have actually 3 points, but these 3 points are very, very significant. So my third point is this: learning Korean language or learning the language, sorry, okay. Learning the language is a great way to future-proof yourself. All right. So learning Korean or learning Hangul is certainly a great advantage as it can help make your education and career more relevant in the future. So why? Okay, why? How? You know, South Korea is one of the strongest economies in Asia. And in fact, in 2020, they are the 12th largest economy in the world. All right. So in the world, 12th largest economy sila. And if this trend continues, learning Korean could be just as important as learning, you know, Mandarin. Right now, a lot of people are learning Mandarin for career and business purposes. And if the trends continue with South Korea already at number 12, so Hangul or Korean could be just as important as Mandarin, next to English, of course, in terms of education, career, and business prospects in the future. Right? Do you agree with me with that? Right. So to tell us more about the benefits of studying Hangul, relevant to future proofing yourself, I'm now going to give the floor to our guest from Sejong University, who will tell us more about the benefits of learning their language in terms of education and possible career opportunities, particularly or more specifically under Sejong University. So I'd like to introduce again Jae Shin. Hi, Jay. The floor is yours. I will stop
All
my
right.
sharing real
Hello,
quick.
everyone. Hello, everyone, and 안녕하세요 from Korea. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the introduction and the points on learning Korean. So, From my perspective, I believe that these are all very fantastic reasons, and it's such a wonderful opportunity to be in this seminar with all of you guys here. And first and foremost, thank you for your time. So without any further ado, I'd like to go on to the presentation that I have prepared for today. Okay, so now the presentation I have prepared for you right now is why study Korean, but from the perspective of Sejong University. So from this presentation, I'd like to share a little bit of more practical information on how Sejong University can help everyone learn Korean and possibly get some scholarships for their academic careers or prepare themselves for TOPIK to prepare for their business purposes or in careers and whatnot. So yeah, so basically my presentation will be done by, first of all, briefly introducing what the Sejong University's Center for International Education, or CIE, is, and what its KLP, or Korean Language Program, is. So I'd like to show you what we have to offer here. So secondly, I'd also like to go on to the fact of why we are qualified and how we can help you learn Korean in a more better way. So how Sejong University can help everyone learn Korean. And finally, I'd like to give a bit of personal advice and some recommendations on what to do after learning the Korean language program. And finally, wrap up by giving a bit of information regarding where to contact us and how to get help and so on. So basically, let's begin by introducing where I'm from. So to introduce myself again, my name is Jae-young Shin, or in Korean, Shin Jae-young. And currently, I'm a program manager in the Center for International Education of Sejong University, mainly in charge of the Korean language program. And once again, it is a very big pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for your time. So just to tell you when we first began teaching the Korean language, the Center for International Education was founded in the year 2008. And well, as you have heard from Mary Ann, King Sejong has made the Korean language, and since we are, Sejong University, we thought we would inherit the spirit of King Sejong, inherit his creativity, and of course, inherit his spirit for spreading Korean. So the main reason why Korean was made in the first place was to make it accessible as possible, to make sure that as many people as possible could learn the language and get some benefits, get more ease out of it. And we inherit this spirit and want to make sure that every person, as many people as possible across the world, get the opportunity to learn Korean. And we believe that it is one of our mission statements to make sure that this is possible. And that's why I would like to use this time to introduce our program as well. So mainly what we do is we focus on the Korean language program. So although there is one Korean language program, but as I will explain later on, we have very diverse curriculums, 6 to be precise. So we have mainly 6 levels that depend on what the proficiency and what the main goals of the students will be. So we can deal with survival Korean, something a little bit more than 안녕하세요, but basically maybe a few sentences to use when you're visiting Korea or visiting a Korean-speaking environment. And for those that want to pursue something even more, we have advanced classes where we have open debates regarding many issues within Korea, and we write essays and actually prepare ourselves for universities. So for the reasons that I will explain a bit later on, and as we like to promote in our brochure, we like to consider ourselves one of the best language institutes in Korea. So not only regarding how we teach Korean itself, but also with our qualified staff. And just to be honest, when people visit Korea, a lot of people want to enjoy the life in Korea as well. So may I ask for a raise of hands of who wants to enjoy the cultural experience in Korea, go visit its tourist attractions and whatnot? Wow. I can see the counts going up very quickly. Well, thank you so much for your participation. And yes, for that, we'd like to emphasize one more thing is that our university is located within the heart of Seoul. And to reach all the attractions in Korea, in Seoul, and which mainly represents a lot of Korea, everything is within mainly a 30-40 minute ride, and we can have easy access to most of the attractions within Korea. So not only curriculum wise, but basically to provide experience learning Korea within learning Korea, I believe that we do represent one of the best language institutes, and we soon enough. And one thing that I cannot stress enough that is the fact that we have multiple overseas centers to satisfy the needs of every country and as many people as possible. So this is the reason why we are proud to present that we are cooperating with CCN as our official partner for representing the Philippine Center for the Korean Language Program. So we'd like to spread our influence and assistance across the entire world. And for this presentation, I'd like to emphasize on the fact that we want to open our help in the Philippines as well. We want to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to learn Korean, and hopefully through our assistance. And now let's go into the more specific part of why the Korean language can be better within Sejong University. So first of all, yes, a Korean language program, learning Korean is great, but it's even better when we have much more qualified instructors there. So for me, speaking Korean, yes, I can speak Korean, but when it comes to teaching a language, I'll be honest, and I don't really excel in that area. But the instructors in the Korean language program at Sejong University are very highly qualified individuals. So the one most important examination would be TOPIK, and we have instructors that have experience being examiners, people that have made the questions for the TOPIK examination. They know how the questions are made. They know what to ask in the TOPIK examination. So if you are looking for some more precise guidance and advice on how to take TOPIK, well, we can help you on that one. And we can assure you that all the instructors here have a certificate of instruction teaching, which is certified by the National Institute of the Korean Language. So we try to pick only the best so that the students and people that participate in here learn the best. And once again, so one thing that the Sejong University's Center for International Education is very proud of and would like to say that has a very different thing is that we pride ourselves on having multiple international partners in many places of the world. So we have multiple centers because we do believe that the people that want to learn Korean have very different needs, and those very different needs differ by country as well. So we have many overseas centers which are located in Vietnam, China, and of course the CCN here in the Philippines, Taiwan, and so on. So we have multiple centers, and we are not planning to stop here. We want to spread our influence, and we want to make sure that everyone receives all kinds of information here. And as I briefly mentioned before, we have 6 different levels of Korean language education. So even in the TOPIK examination, it has 6 different levels. So we took that as an example, and we also made 6 different levels in Korean. So we can take a look at the first 2 levels, levels 1 and 2 as beginner's Korean. So if you want to learn survival Korean, learn how to briefly introduce yourself and so on and so forth, you can look forward to over here. But as the levels progress, we have more advanced propositions. So for example, advanced courses, they mainly deal within more extensive debates and more extensive expressions. So many Korean words that use the Chinese alphabet, Chinese sigils as well. So it goes into a more in-depth education of the Korean language, so the students can be prepared to use Korean anywhere, anytime, in any environment. So with the qualified staff we want to provide, and with the overseas support that we are providing right now, and you want to provide even more, and along with the customized curriculum, we believe that these 3 will be the ingredient to achieving one of our main goals for all students that participate in our language program, which would be gaining proficiency in Korean. So let's talk about what we can do after learning the Korean language program, because, well, after you learn it, you want to use it somewhere, right? It's only natural. And I thought of three things that we can deal with when we learn Korean. So the first one would be to take a TOPIK examination. So I did some research and I found out that the TOPIK exam was on October this year, but due to COVID-19, but it was canceled. But nonetheless, there are more opportunities to come in the future years. And if you take a TOPIK examination, it will be certified proof showing your Korean language proficiency. And if you do have plans on working in Korean companies that have overseas branches, I believe that a TOPIK score will be a very strong requirement or a benefit for you to apply in such positions. So career-wise, I believe that TOPIK really, really will help in this case. And let's talk about studying in Korea. What do I mean by this? So throughout our presentation, as we will deal with later on, so the main two propositions we want to show you in this seminar would be for two online programs. And it would be kind of frustrating if you had to go through online education in the Philippines and start fresh from level 1 when you come to Korea. But in this case, if you plan to attend the Korean language program in Sejong University, you can study your online courses. For example, let's take a look at this slide over here. So you can take online courses from levels 1 and 2 to make sure that you really want to go to Korea, because it really is a big decision if you want to go study in a different country. But if you take levels 1 and 2, which is about 400 hours of education, and you feel like you would have a better time in Korea, and you can come to Korea and join the further levels right away. Because if you have graduated from level 2, what's the point in starting again? We'll help you start from level 3. And within Korea, within the Korean language program, there we provide much more cultural activities, cultural experiences, visiting Lotte World, wearing hanbok, and using calligraphy brushes to write your name in Korean. So many more activities await you in Korea. So if you have any interest here, you can, but are not sure, you can take the online courses here and start at a higher level later on. And the second option, the final option would be to go to, well, undergraduate studies. You can go to college, university after studying the Korean language. So, well, since I came here from Sejong University, I like to show what courses you can take, what the main procedure will be to enter undergraduate studies after learning Korean. So first things first, I think it would be best to match your Korean proficiencies to what you want to study. So if you take a look at the graph over here, if you look at the table over here, so you can see that creative studies, arts, and PE majors require a TOPIK level of 2, but considering that the TOPIK tests are really hard to take due to COVID-19 making every test canceled and whatnot, you can graduate from level 2 from the Korean language program and use it instead of your TOPIK scores if you plan to apply to Sejong University's undergraduate course. The same goes for the other majors. So if you want to go to higher majors such as Korean language, media, and business administration, which are more higher in the aspects of being Korean heavy, you can graduate from level 4 or above. And any other majors such as hotel management and so on, you can graduate from level 3 or above. Don't worry if you don't have TOPIK. If you graduate from the Korean language program, you can use that instead. You can use that instead of your TOPIK score. And finally, and secondly, you can go onto your application. You can choose your major on where you want to apply to. So, since this is mainly a seminar regarding the Korean language program, I'll just briefly go over what kind of many majors we have. So the most prestigious one would be hotel management and the creative studies department with its animation department and music and so on. And please know that if you do learn Korean but want to continue your studies in English, we also do provide English tracks as well. And finally, do we provide anything to help students study in Korea, especially regarding undergraduate studies if they decide to stick with us to Sejong University? Of course we do. So we provide scholarships for students that apply to Sejong University's undergraduate course after graduating for more than 2 semesters in the Korean language program. So since they have stayed with us for a long time and has focused enough on and given us their time in graduating from two levels, so if they meet the requirements for their majors and enter Sejong University after the Korean language programs, we help them by paying for 100% of their admission fees and 100% of their tuition fees for their first semester. So So throughout your undergraduate studies, you can receive more scholarships through your GPA, but we wanted to give you a strong head start. Focus only on your studies. You did a good enough job studying Korean. We want to help you study even harder, even better in the undergraduate course by providing you with higher scholarships. So yeah, I know my presentation has been a bit, how would you say it, formal, but I just wanted to give you the most information possible because since you are giving us your time by participating in this session, we wanted to show you what kind of opportunities we want to provide, what we want to help you with. And if you want more information from us, you can contact us here. I'm currently in the Sejong University CIE, Center for International Education. And the second department would be the CISS, Center for International Students and Scholars. So if you want to talk about the undergraduate course, this is where you can contact us. But yeah, enough of that. The next part of our seminar will be done by Marianne, and we will talk about what exact programs we want to tell you and give you in this seminar. So please give her a round of applause. And well, thank you so much for your time and listening to my presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, I see one question there, but please let us answer that later, all right? I see the question from somebody, so I took note of that and we'll try to answer that later. So for now, like what Jay mentioned, Sejong University offers language programs, and I'm gonna tell you more about that right now. All right, let me share. All right, so, okay. All right, so in partnership with Career Consultants Network, again, Sejong University is offering language programs. We have two offerings currently, and the first one is a Korean 101 primer class. So from the word primer, okay, this class is for individuals who are not yet entirely prepared to take on an intensive language course, all right? So this program aims to give you a taste of Korean language learning. So definitely these are for people who do not have an idea yet about Hangul. But for those who already have a background, I'm very sorry. This is not probably for you, but the other one will probably be. So by joining this program, you will get to learn and understand the dynamics of the Korean alphabet, basic expressions that you can use to initiate small talks in Korean, and basic grammar points that are very significant in constructing sentences in Korean. All right, so this program will run for 8 sessions in 1 month. So you can see it here on my slide. Again, 8 sessions in 1 month. And this will be twice a week. We aim to have it on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 to 4 p.m. Philippine time. And this costs 800 pesos. So the whole 8 sessions will cost 800 pesos. And at the end of the whole primer class, you will receive an attendance certificate. Okay. This program will start on the 4th of May. That is a Tuesday. And if you wish to join this program, please, you need to register with us, CCN, until this Thursday, the 22nd of April. Later, I'll give you our contact details. So again, for the Korean 101 primer class, this is like a taste of learning Hangul. And if you wish to register, please do so until on or before this Thursday, April 22nd. Right? Now, so for those who already have, an idea about Hangul and those who are very interested in pursuing what Jay has just discussed to us, then our next course, the Intensive Korean Language Program, is the one for you. All right, so from the word intensive, this means that by taking this program, you are committing yourself to learning the language extensively. right? And in this course, you are aiming to improve levels beginning from level one onwards. Okay? But before starting the course, you will be given a diagnostic test to determine your level. Okay? And at the end of each completed semester, you will receive a proficiency certificate. And to enroll in this program, you need to register by paying a fee of 100,000 Korean won. The intake will be every seasonal semester, and the nearest one will start on the 31st of May for the summer intake. The next intake will be by the end of August, so that will be for the fall intake. Each semester will run for 10 weeks. The classes will run Mondays to Fridays. So this will be like a regular class, like you're really going to school. All right. So this is not like the primer that's only twice a week. When you enroll in the intensive Korean language program, again, we need your commitment. So this means you are really committed. It's like you're studying a course in a university, in a school. Again, the registration fee is 100,000 Korean won. And the classes run Monday to Friday in 4-hour sessions, and you can actually choose whether to take it in the morning or in the afternoon. Okay. The fee for this intensive course is at 1,600,000 won per semester. But okay, at the moment we are giving it at a discounted rate of 1,300,000 won. I hope I'm saying these things correctly, but it's on the slide. So since the borders are closed and we can only do online classes right now, we're giving it away at a discounted price of 1,300,000 won. um if you're asking why is it in Korean won, it's because you will be enrolling in a Korean university. All right, that's why you will pay to the university. That's why it's in Korean won. In peso, this is about, prepare yourself, this is about around 56,000 pesos. Based on current conversion, you can either pay this amount in full or in two installments. Now, I know that the amount is kind of really high, the price is high for Filipinos, but I would like to give you reasons why you would want to invest this amount of money for a language course. So first of all, you are going to enroll as a student in one of South Korea's top private universities. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me, Jay. Sejong University is on the ninth spot in South Korea world university rankings within South Korea. If it's
Yes,
not
thank you.
it's in the top. Sorry.
Yes, that is correct.
That's correct. Okay, so Sejong University is the ninth best university in South Korea. So therefore, you are paying for great quality education. Another point is that the teachers or the instructors of this language course, as mentioned by Jay earlier, are faculty members of the university, and they either have a master's or a doctorate degree in Korean language education. And they are not just anyone who speaks the language fluently or who studied Korean and then they also want to teach other people. So they are not just these people, they are faculty members of a prestigious university. Um, Another point, I think this is already though mentioned by Jay, the leveling progress or levels 1 to 6, this is benchmarked according to national standard and is in correlation to the topic levels. So again, topic, test of proficiency in Korean language. This is usually a proficiency level required for foreign students to get accepted into a certain course, which was also previously mentioned already. So there you have it. Those are our two language programs being offered at the moment, and we are now opening the floor for some questions. Mhm. I see some.
Yes, Mai?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me try to help you. We have a
Okay,
question
okay.
here.
Thank
So
you.
I think the first one will be addressed to Jay.
Uh-huh.
Jay, somebody is asking regarding the scholarship that you mentioned. Is it available for graduate studies?
Well, thank you. Thank you for your question. Currently, I want to emphasize that we are working on it, but for the time being, it's not applicable in the graduate studies. But instead, if you have a TOPIK score of according to your major, you can receive a 30% scholarship for your tuition fees in the graduate course. So to answer your question, currently the 100% scholarship is being applied for the undergraduate courses, and we're currently working on it to apply to the graduate program. Thank you.
Thanks for clarifying, Jay. And I think this one is for Marian. Is the Korean language program that you just mentioned any of those? I mean, I think those two, are they online or will they be taken at Sejong University?
As mentioned by Jay earlier, for the intensive language course, it was originally designed for the students to be able to go to Korea and take it there. So there is an option to go there and take it at the regular price. But you know, right now the borders are closed, so all of these will be done online for now.
Okay, so both the primer and the intensive,
Yes,
they
intensive.
can all take it online for now. All right. And I think there's another question regarding the price. Is the 100,000 registration deductible from the 1.3 million won?
No, sorry, that
So it's
is
a
a
separate.
separate. Am I right, Jay? That is a
Uh,
separate
yes,
amount, right?
you
Yeah.
are right on that one. So there are separate accounts. So sorry to say that it cannot be deducted. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying. And I think some people are interested in the primer class as well. Thank you. But they are asking if there are any other available schedules.
Um, you can please reach out to us. I'll flash our contact details later because that's why we want to know who the interested applicants are until this week so that we can check. If you are going to email us, please also tell us your preferred availability if you are not available on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we will try to arrange this as much as we can. Right, Jay?
Yes.
We'll
Well, first
try.
of all, yes, that is correct. So what we want to know here is that we're always open to the opinions of all students that want to take the course. And if we have a certain amount of students that have identical needs, we most certainly will try our best and almost everything to make sure that course will open. So yeah, so if an adequate amount of students state their opinion that they want their classes on a different time, of course I'll check to see what we can do within those sessions as well. Of course, yes, thank you.
Great. And there's a question regarding the primer model. If somebody takes that basic course, the primer course, would that mean that she or he would no longer be she would no longer have difficulty reading subtitles when watching Korean movies or shows?
Yeah, would it be okay if I could just answer this one?
Sure, Jay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, sure. Basically, yeah, we're dealing with reading and pronouncing the Korean alphabet. So yeah, if you go through it, you'll have no problem reading it. So as for pronouncing and reading the Korean language, we plan to make sure that you go through no problems with that. So we'll teach you how. We want to teach you how to read and pronounce Korean, and with enough practice, you should have no problems regarding that one.
Maybe I can also give my insights to this as somebody who learned the language. Um, as long as you can already read in Hangul, it'll be easy. It doesn't automatically, when you know how to read in Hangul, it doesn't automatically mean that you will understand everything in Korean. But this gives you the ability to learn on your own. So once you already know how to read and write in Hangul, you can easily type everything down in a dictionary and then learn the translation and then learn from that.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Maya and Jay. And I think we can take another question from Liza. I think Liza is interested in studying at Sejong University in Korea, and she's wondering if there's any program available that she could take when the borders are open.
Oh, okay. When the borders are open, we always have our Korean language program that's being done 4 times a year within Korea. So I think it'll be best to contact not well either Sejong University or CCN to see what semester would fit you. But if that's okay, you're always welcome to join the Korean language program within Korea as well. Yes.
Okay, thanks, Jay. And I'll just add for Liza Jean, my suggestion is contact Marian, send your resume, and let's have you assessed for the programs that you are also interested in after taking the Korean language program. If there's any bachelor or higher degree that you are qualified for. All right. So Jay and Maya, I think some primer interested students are interested on a weekend. So I'll gather these information and send them to you. And let's just check if we have other remaining questions. In the meantime, I think Jay would like to share a quick video for everyone.
Oh, I will stop sharing. Wait.
Uh, okay, one moment, please. Currently, I'm trying to upload it, but there seems to be a little problem regarding this. So, would it be okay if we could just continue the Q&A session for just a little longer, and
Sure,
I'll try to upload it up here?
sure.
Sorry for that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so
Maybe, oh, sorry, Monette. I actually forgot to mention that there will be a link for the e-certificate that will be given before we end this session. Monette will give it in the chat box.
right. So, yeah, we almost forgot that. For those who are
Yes.
requesting for an e-certificate, I've just typed in the chat
Oh,
box
there.
the link that you could fill out. Is a simple form that you could just fill out. Within today, kindly send your name and your email so we can send your e-certificate within the next few days. All right. So I think Maya was a very good opportunity to learn about the programs. And
Hmm.
also, I'd like to highlight again the advantage of taking the Korean language program allows you to obtain the scholarship, a huge scholarship, when you enter later on Sejong University for your bachelor's degree or your undergraduate studies. All right. And
Okay, while Jay is doing some things, I would like just to flash this so you can already take note of my email, and this is also my mobile number. If you have further inquiries, just let us know because I'm pretty sure there are some other things that maybe we were not able to cover, but you would like to know more about. So just send an email and we will try to accommodate those questions.
all right. So, Maya, I think we won't be able to share the video for now. Maybe we could just send a link later to all our
All right.
attendees. Would you like to wrap up? Oh,
Okay,
sorry. There's one
so,
more
oh,
question, Maya, before you
okay,
go.
okay.
Sorry. So, Marian, just final question before we wrap up the session. Is there a need to pay immediately after registering in the primer program?
We will send you the details. No, for the registration, we just need your intent until the end of this week. We want to know if, because like what Jay mentioned, we can try, okay? We can try to adjust the schedule. So until we finalize the schedule, I don't think it's a good idea to take payment from a student. So first we want to know who are interested and if they are available on those schedules, and then we will email you further updates on what we could do about it.
And Marian, where can they register for the primer program?
You can send me an email here.
All right.
All
So,
right.
guys, for those who are interested, please take note of the email marian@ccnau.com. All right. So, I think that's it. We've answered the last question. Marian, over to you.
All right. So thank you, Manette. And that's it, everybody. So let me conclude this session by thanking all of you for joining us. And we hope you found this information session very informative. And also a big thank you to our representative from Sejong University, Jae Young Shin, for helping make this event meaningful and possible. And of course, Manette, thank you for your help. And everybody, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. So we'll just wait for your emails. For any questions, just send it to us. Thank you.
Thank you. 감사합니다.